Hey, I've got a loop grid on screen and I've got my taxonomy filter. This is using Elementor format. Do you notice something a little bit unusual? We got the all button, we have parent A, and then we have the child and it's in a different color, parent B, and we got the child, parent C. Of course, if you hit parent C, it's only going to show you parent C. You hit the child, it will show you the child pose. You hit parent B, it will show you all of the children. Now, what's unique about this is that it is just using the Elementor taxonomy filter, but it's the individual styling I'm able to apply. Let me show you what you would see if you did not add in this extra little bit of CSS to make it be very, very bespoke. On screen, you can see my taxonomy filter, and I have intentionally removed the extra bit of CSS. So this is what you would see. Everything looks the same. You can stylize it by doing your background colors, your hover, your actives, and all that. You can do all of this here. But the trouble is, though, that when you go and apply a particular color, it will apply it across the board. And maybe it's not that easy to differentiate the parent from the child. A lot of people have not complained, but they have said this is a little bit of an issue. Now, over here, you can clearly see I've said parent A, child A1, and then parent B, B1, and B2 for the children. So I'm kind of giving you a clue that the children for B1 and B2 relate to parent B. But what if they are very individualistic names like table and chair and whatever, and the parent for them was furniture? It might be obvious to some, but to others, it might not be that obvious or clear cut. So when you have like wording and you don't have something that clearly tells you that here's the parent and here's the child, it can get difficult for the user. And that's where this custom CSS really helps you out. And one little tip I will give you is I would set everything to be 0 for the space between, because we are going to control the spacing between the all button. I don't know why I'm doing that. You can't even see my hands really. From the all to the first parent, then from the parent to the child, and then from the child to the next parent that comes along. So I want to have like a bit of consistency or a particular way of presenting it. By the way, I've also gone and just added in some borders as well, and I've modified the padding for the buttons. But in terms of what you would build when you are using this, you would have your loop grid for post or product. You go and drop in the taxonomy filter. Make sure it is selecting the correct loop grid if you've got multiple loop grids on the page. And that's it. There's nothing else you're going to do with it. I mean, look, you can mess around if you're going to show empty child, or if you don't show the taxonomy children, you won't see the children. But what we're going to do is make it clearer. So we're going to go to the advanced tab, go to custom CSS, and we're going to drop in this little bit of code just from my, mod, everything. Yeah, there's no class name either. Okay, that's how simple this is. And this code is in the video description. Did you instantly see what happened as I dropped that in? So let's just go and have a look at the code. Remember, the CSS is placed in the taxonomy filter. So we are touching the filter, and the filter item is data filter all. Okay, that is the terminology that's used inside of Elementor to identify the parent and the child. And what I've gone and done is set my weight. So if I was to go and set that to be 1, can you see the all button has now shrunk down to be very thin? I'm going to leave that as 7. What I have found is that if you try and do this and you've gone and preset some particular styling like the typography or the colors or anything like that, trying to get these to activate will either require exclamation important, and even then sometimes you get a bit of conflict with, does it use this or does it go and use the style you set? So just pay attention to that. If you want to set your borders and your radiuses and your padding, that's okay to do because that's consistent across the board. But I want to have a different color for different buttons. So there's my background color and there's my color for the text. Over here is now where we're touching the parents, parent A, parent B, parent C, and parent D. You can see the background color, you can see what I'm doing. Over here is where I apply a few more styling for when you are now hovering over them. So I want that to be consistent. You could change this if you want. You could make it be like a different kind of color when you hover over them, each of them. In terms of all parent child, but I would say just go for one color. Now let me just address the margin. Over here, I have said that for every parent, there is 30 pixel margin left. So that's 30 pixel there, 30 pixel there, 30 there, and 30 there. So every parent has 30 before. When we go to the child, I have 8. So the child from the parent is 8. And then the child to child is also 8. So if I was to go and increase this to be 18, or in fact 28, watch the gap. See that increase there? And if I was to change this to be 0, the children have no gaps. So this method allows you to control the spacing. So you can argue that's still not very clear, but I think compared to what you had before, and this is a reminder, okay? By the way, I have got rid of the spacing, which is why they're clumped together, but you can apply styling, a background color, text color, whatever, but they're the same, regardless of parent or child. And I think that this bit of code here makes things a little bit clearer. What do you think? I would love to know your comments. And if you go and use this to create your own style, please stick it in the comments because I might do a video on it or have a bit of a look with it and test it out. Hey, I'm Imran, Web Squadron. See you soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings.